Okay, ladies, I had to make sure it was recording because the last time I done this, it wasn't recording, and so the entire part got missed. So what we missed was the part where we covered the bodice that we cut out in part one with the material. So it's the very, very easy part, so it won't take very long at all to show you. So what you're going to do, you got this cut out, so you just put that aside. Then you take your material and you just lay it out however you want, it doesn't matter. And then you take your bodice and lay your bodice on top. Make sure you have enough material that when you cut it into strips that it's going to fold over, okay? It doesn't have to cover in the center if you don't want it to. Just make sure it's enough to cover right close to the edges so it'll stay on. So what I usually do is I usually get about half a yard of material, and half a yard of material you can do about 4 to 6 bow holder bodices. So you don't have to buy an entire yard of material for it unless you just really want to. But I tend to buy just half yards, and that way I can buy different patterns, different colors, rather than having a whole yard of a solid color or a pattern that I'm not going to use all of. But I don't waste it, so I'll find some use for it. But, okay, so my scissors are the worst in the world, so please forgive me. But this is all you do. It doesn't have to be even or anything. Doesn't matter. And this that I have here is like a cotton t-shirt material, so it's very soft and it stretches really good. So I think it's going to be very, very good for stretching onto this bodice. So just lay your bodice down, okay? And you can start wherever you want to start. Let's start on the other end, so we'll turn it around. And we'll start down here. All you have to do is just get your bodice laid where you want it laid. And then take your glue gun. Seeing how we're going to do the bottom first. And let's get this glue going right across the bottom here. Just put you a good little amount of it. And then fold the material up on it. And don't forget that even though you've got material between this glue and your fingers, it can still burn you. So be very careful, okay? So just push it down like that. And that end is done. And then you can take it over here to the side and cut you a couple strips. So make sure you use good scissors. Don't do like I do and use the worst ones you can find. Okay, so then just cut you a strip or two. Okay. Alright, that should do. Alright. Then what you want to do is you want to take this. I'm going to cut it a little closer. Thought I cut it closer than that. Okay. And then you're going to take it and you're going to fold it over like this. Now see, this is going to come way over here, and you don't need all that. So if you don't want it, snip it off. Okay, pull tight wherever you want it, and glue. And don't forget, it's hot and it will get your fingers, even though there is material between the glue and your fingers, it's still hot. So just pat it down until it glues good. You can leave this if you want. If you don't, you can trim it again. However you want to do it, okay? Remember that this back is going to be covered, so all this ugly is going to be covered. And you don't need to worry about it because nobody's going to see it. Okay, so let's just continue here and get this cut down and pull it tight. Make sure you got it where you want it. I'm running out of glue here. Okay, make sure you got it where you want it. And glue. And set it. Just like you want it. And then this one, see how this one automatically went over? This is great because it saves you a little trouble. But you're also got a load of extra material here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it down. Let's see, let me cut it around here. I can't find my good scissors, so I'm using these, and they're just not the sharpest scissors around. Okay. Okay. So then take this and glue it. And make sure it stays on that edge. Okay, there you go. Now you have a little bit of excess material here, but it doesn't matter. And remember, don't worry about wrinkles. They can be covered. If you pull it tight enough, you shouldn't have any wrinkles. But with this material, you're going to have a little bit, because this is that stretch, like I said, the stretchy cotton t-shirt material. So you're going to have a little bit of wrinkles. Okay, so now we're going to go down here, and we're going to cut this one a little bit. Maybe. Okay. And we're going to want it to go that way, so we'll just put some glue here and fold it over that way. Okay, and then this one, you're going to have extra material, so just cut down. Now, if you don't want to deal with cutting all of this excess material as you go, then what you can do is you can actually just measure, I don't know, maybe 3.5, 4 inches. I'd go 4 inches just to be safe, outside of your bodice, and then cut a square there, and then you don't have as much excess material. But this does not bother me, as long as I've got good scissors that help, that work. Cutting the excess material is not a big thing. So that's why, you know, I do it the way I do it, just to make sure I've got enough material. And I promise you, all this extra material is not going to be wasted. Somehow I will figure out a way to use it. Material is just too expensive anymore to waste anything, any of it. Okay, so now we got the one side done. Let's go to the top. Now see, you're going to have some wrinkles here. You can fix that. If you don't want the wrinkles, then make sure that whenever you're cutting it where you want, you can just pull as tight as you can, and you can adjust it. But the thing about it is, in the 80s, which is the era of the fluorescent, they had the wrinkly stuff on, you know. They'd have it wrinkled up, and they'd have it tied on a knot on the side. Remember that? So I don't mind so much. This is like this, and if you don't like it, and you don't want to worry about pulling it tight and all that, you cover it with decorations. Once we get done and we start adorning it with pretty things, you can cover it up. So anyway, let's finish here real quick. So I see that I've got a big piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these scissors, go across it. Oh, it's annoying with these scissors. There we go. Alright, now we're going to do to the side to make sure we've got that one covered. This shoulder here. Now, on none of my bodices will you ever, that burns. On none of my bodices will you ever see rounded arms, not shoulders. I just don't think it looks good on these bow holders. You may differ in opinion, and that's fine. But on mine, I always square them off. I think they just look better. Okay, so now let's cut a little here and pull it tight about where we're wanting it. push down. Okay, and then you'll go through probably 2 or 3 glue sticks while doing this. Just because you want to make sure that when you get that thing on, it doesn't come off. Okay. Now let's cut this one. Make sure when you're cutting it, because when I did that on that side, I didn't cut it all the way to the board. And when I didn't do that, did you see it? Notice I had to go back and cut again. Well, that's because it wasn't close enough to the board. See what I'm saying? So that's the way you want it. You want it close enough to the board so that it'll pull and stretch the way you need it to. Okay. Hope I didn't cut that. No, that's good. Alrighty then. We're almost done with getting this thing covered. And as you can see, it's really not that hard. My struggles have been with my scissors. So please learn from me and my mistakes and use excellent scissors. Okay, so let's get this thing finished up here. We can get on with the rest of the tutorial and I can get this thing posted for you guys. Alright, so do it like that. And this is just a quickie, you know, showing you how to do this. This isn't, you know, most times I take a little more time with them because, you know, once you do it, you know, and I have a way of doing it, and I don't like a lot of, you know, now this one's okay, like I said, with the wrinkles, but if this was supposed to be a fancy schmancy one, I would not be okay with the wrinkles, and it would take me forever to get it all perfect like I like it. Okay, pull and stick it. Now, okay, get that on there. And then we'll get this one on here, just like that. Now, you can clear, like I said, you can cut all this extra off if you want. You don't have to. Because like I said, it's going to be covered. So, alright, so this is it. This is, once it's covered, this is what it looks like. And this right here, like I said, I don't mind. We can cover this if you don't like the wrinkles, or whenever you're doing it, just make sure that you cut closer to the board and pull a little tighter, okay? And then you can work them wrinkles out. But on this one, I don't mind so bad. So anyway, that's that, and we'll head on to the next part of the tutorial, which is going to be adding the headband to the bottom and the tulle, and then we're going to add the ribbons where you're going to clip the bows, hold the bows on, and then we're going to start adorning the bodice. So just keep an eye out for the next one. Once you get done with this, then I'll see you in the next part. Okay, good luck, have fun.